Hello and welcome to Rise Above 2K, the community that is built around NBA 2K, the grind, the hustle, and the growth. I'm Gax, joined as always by the talent, the Unicorn Big. How are you doing this evening, my man?
What is up? I'm good. 6'9" is a lovely place to be.
Neither of us are 6'9" as a disclaimer, but I will say you will feel 6'9" as soon as you put on a jersey by Shotties. We have a link in the descriptions to Shotties jerseys, which Unicorn is wearing his Heat jersey from Shotties, which I so appreciate, and a Heat hat, which didn't come from Shotties, but I'm very appreciative for the support. There's a reason why you're wearing Heat stuff tonight, and it is Monday night. What is that reason?
There's no Pistons. There are no Pistons or Spurs games tonight. In lieu of that, I thought that I would make Gax happy by wearing Miami Heat stuff.
We love the Heat. It's a culture thing. And if you want your very own Heat jersey, you go to Instagram, you go to Shotties, you make the request. They give you a great deal. You get an authentic quality jersey. You're going to love it. Support Shotties. I love the Miami Heat. They're a play-in team. It's very exciting, and they could pass the Cleveland Cavaliers, who's the most expensive team in the NBA. So we'll get to some NBA stuff later, but we have some stuff to talk about 2K first. If you like the content you're hearing, please like and subscribe, share, comment, let your friends know that it exists. Also, if you want more insight into the game, more strategy, more collaboration, join our Discord. It's 100% free. We're around 2,000 members strong. Unicorn Big is active in it all the time. Me as a Christmas noob power forward is in there just trying to figure out what end of the basketball to hold. But we'll figure it out. Feel free to join us there. There's a lot of really, really great members who are doing some good things. But into 2K this week, talk to me about this new build. We're on another new build, but one that I think is hitting better than any of them that we've seen before. And I have notes to why, but I'm gonna let you intro it a little bit here.
So I don't know. I wasn't necessarily struggling on the last build, but the 3-point wasn't like clicking for me. So I figured, what the hell, 8th time's a charm. And I've been sitting on this 6'9" center build for a minute and trying to decide whether or not I should put any investment into it. I decided screw it, and I did the 6'9". So
Okay.
we're 6'9", 6'10" wingspan, 264. So I've got strength and some weight to do some rebounding, but I'm also fast. So I have 79 overall speed, which for a center is blazing.
Yes.
Especially if I decide to put on the speedster takeover. I've got a 93 point. I've got 93 pass ac, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was playing this game earlier where I was playing as power forward and the center was just going straight down. And I threw him 2 touchdowns from the inbound in the backcourt, just boom, boom. Driving dunks at 90, gotta have that. Standing dunk is not good, but for a 6'9" build, that's fine. I took my block on Cat Breaker from a 58 to an 86 by going +5. Defensive rebounds 92. Perimeter defense is 82. Steal needs some work, but by just dropping 1 or 2 Cat Breakers on that, I can get that to 70. So I'm feeling really good, and the initial stats are supporting it. I've had 1 bad shooting game. Everything else, I'm shooting. If you take away that, I'd be shooting in the 70%.
Love
it. It is just like this. Since I'm 6'9", I get the Ray Allen shooting base.
Okay.
And that is smooth. So I'm going Ray Allen. I'm going Brandon Ingram. I'm going Ray Allen base, and then both Brandon Ingrams for release, and it is good.
Ray Allen, legendary Miami Heat player. Just as a side note.
Yes.
No, I think we talked about this a little bit before we started recording tonight, and one of the things that I think is really important is you were talking about in the last couple of pods how important it is to be able to put away shots the first time you're given the opportunity when you're in random queue, because if you flub your first two threes, especially as a center or power forward, they're just not gonna pass to you anymore. I mean, the odds that anyone passes to you in random queue is perilous anyway. But you have to convert the shots that you're given. So seeing a 70%, are you starting to build a little confidence with the teams that you're playing when you're in random queue?
Yeah, I had one game which we lost, but I had 38 points and we scored like 52, and I missed a few. And honestly, I needed to make that was right before I changed my shot a little bit
Okay.
because I was shooting like mid 60s and I wanted to get that up, so I just changed my shot to that Brandon Ingram release. Um, and yeah, there's just some games where I make one or two and people just feed me the ball, feed me that
Yeah.
rock.
Ah.
And especially if I'm going against a slower center, I can just dex them, um, or drive to the basket, come back.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things I can do to get open. And if anything, the center is so focused on me that that allows for all the play to happen in the paint without me and just creating space. So
Yeah, well, and it's
it's a
interesting
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
it sounds like you're kind of finding the right spot for where you need to be, but it's interesting that you talked about speed earlier, because I think even in last episode we talked about speed and how you were just getting chewed up by other centers or power forwards in certain situations. But you said that the speed has you on like totally flipping the table on that situation.
Yeah, so when I get paired up with a power forward, a midi slasher or whatever they call it, and they're 210, they probably have speed in the 80s. So I'm just able to keep up with them. So they're not blazing by me, which is amazing. But what's even greater is when I go against a center who has like 60s speed and I'm at 79 or I'm overtaking and going faster, like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to
Yeah.
keep up with me. So
That's great. So the other thing that I want to note here, and it's really important for anyone who's listening who's going through rebuilding process and trying to figure out what the right build for them is. It's not just that you changed height. It's not just that you went off of a build that you knew was going to be money. We're talking about situations where you're funding your deficiencies as a player and you're fading your strengths. So the stats are being pushed to areas where your gameplay needs help, and anywhere that you've got on lock that you know, hey, I'm good at this shit, you're fading that in the stats and saying, I'm going to let my skill handle that, and the areas where my skill's not quite where I want it to be, I'm funding the shit out of those stats. Is that an accurate description of the new build?
I would say yes in certain aspects. But with 3 point, look, there's guys who are way better than me and girls
There's
too,
also
I'm
people who
sure.
are cheating.
Yes, but there's like a huge ban on that and people are
Yep.
getting banned like weeks
We
for that
love it.
now. So
We love it.
um but anyways, for like a 3 point, like you need to have a high 3 point. Like,
Yes.
some guys will say like you +2 on an 80 and you're fine. Um but I don't know, for me I just feel better with that 90 overall 3 point. So that's something I'm always gonna just base my game around from here on out. But I will say, um, in order to get that 93 point, you need to have a 6'10" wingspan, which is not like great, right? So that's where the 88 vertical comes in. That's where the 86 block comes in. That's where the high defensive rebounds comes in. Is you need to make sure that you're covering for yourself a little bit there, because if you wanted to get better in those areas, then you would have to take down your three ball to 80. So,
Yeah, and you don't it's not we've chronicled this several episodes running that you're not willing to take away from your 3. And honestly, for anyone who cares about my fledgling career as a power forward, when I sent the unicorn my initial build, he was like, "No, this is rubbish. You gotta figure out your 3." And I was like, "Buddy, I don't think that's what I'm supposed to be doing." It's like, "No, everyone takes threes, figure it out."
yep. And Gax's big problem is he just can't sink his teeth enough into the game.
Too
So,
busy playing Diablo and Path of Exile. It's ruining
yes,
everything, man. It's ruining
yes,
everything.
it
And
really
skiing,
is.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, It's really exciting though. I'm excited to hear that the new build is going off. It's really had a profound effect on how you're playing the game, how your attitude's been. And look, we talk about it all the time. When you're grinding this hard at ranked progression, you're gonna have positives and you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have bad weeks. You're gonna have bad seasons or periods or patches or whatever. Looking for answers and trying to figure out your way out of your rut, spending some time away from the game, looking at rebuilds, these are all really common practices to getting back into it. And who knows, next week we record and you're like, dude, this build sucks. I just can't fucking do it anymore. Like it could happen.
I don't
I
think
don't
I can
I don't I
spend
don't
any
think
more money.
think it's going to. I don't think our great partners are going to allow you to keep funding these transitions. But for anyone out there who's feeling this way, this is the podcast for you. Because this is where you're going to learn how to overcome those things. We've talked about some of the technology. We've talked about some of the good fitness habits and wellness habits and things like all of these things come into the game, and a lot of them are never talked about because the people who are really good at this, they don't give away these secrets. They don't talk about what it's like to pivot or to rebuild. That's what you're getting here. And it's knowing Unicorn as well as I do, it's painful for him to come on here and say, I'm rebuilding. I'm scrapping it and starting over, but he does it anyway, and he does it for you guys. So stick around. We'll keep chronicling the growth every week. And I think we're gonna have supplemental content too. You're gonna be sharing with us some of your gameplay footage, correct?
I'm very much working on how to uh, efficiently record these mid-form videos that I promised in last episode. We have some work to do on the back end to figure this out, but my hope is in the next day or two that we are launched on this and that I'm doing these videos at least once or twice a week.
Yeah. Yeah, because as much as I love to talk about it and have almost no expertise, having the gameplay footage, you being able to break it down in a way that's going to be helpful, it's just going to be added value to anyone who listens to this that plays the game and is trying to grow. I obviously can give you some of the psyche parts of it, but getting more granular with gameplay is one of our biggest goals. I'll call it one of our resolutions of 2026. We want to give you more content that's more relatable, more helpful. And that being said, if there's something you want to see from us or something that you want to know more about, drop it in the comments. Like we will address comments in future in future podcasting sessions. And I'm not just outsourcing production. I super appreciate the feedback from anyone who's a fan. And mom, thanks for listening. I super appreciate it. Let's quickly get into the NBA. There was a huge trade, and we talked about Trae Young coming to our podcast. We didn't get him. The Wizards did, and I don't want to misquote you here. What did you call the Wizards when we started this podcast?
I think the doormat
The
of the
doormat. Yeah.
NBA.
Okay. Well, that's the Pacers. You were off by a couple of states, but now they have Trae Young, the statistically worst defensive player of eligible players in the NBA. Do you think that this is going to be a resurgent run for them
No.
from from 200 from 200 basketball to hopefully beating out the Bulls?
No.
No, no. Okay,
No.
so the Wizards are just going to be the Wizards. It's exciting. But when I do look at the table in the East, yeah, it's soccer me talking about the table. What the fuck? The Detroit Pistons, 28-10, 3.5 games up on the Knicks, still at the top. And they just don't stop. They just keep winning. Is this just the team we have now? Because they don't
Well,
have their best players right now.
yeah, but I think they will on Thursday. They're lucky that they have, let's see, a 4 or 5 day break. So I think Cade and Jalen and Isaiah are going to get healthy. Tobias, I don't know how much more he's going to be playing for the Pistons, just depending on what happens at the trade deadline.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but man, they have some assets. I think they have I think Ivy, Jenkins, or Sasser, one of them could probably get packaged in a
Well,
deal.
don't do that with Ivy. Do that with anyone else. Do that with Cade. Don't do that with Ivy. Ivy's my guy. You know that. Don't do that.
Okay,
Don't do that.
anyone who's listening to this podcast, please don't stop listening because Gax just said the Pistons should package Cade in a deal.
Before Ivy,
Dallas
yes.
Mavericks redo.
Oh my god. Oh, we're just gonna have GMs fired over this nonsense.
Now you deserve to be fired over that.
One step at a time. After I get my paycheck, we can talk about being fired. No, I agree with you. I think there are some key pieces, and it could include Ivy. At which point I would just frame the jersey that you got me through Shoddy's, and it'll be up on the wall for future recordings, because we'll never forget. The streets will never forget what he did for us.
Yeah, they will.
No, well, I won't. So neither will Basketball Reference. I'll have backup. It doesn't matter. Looking over to the West, Oklahoma still doing Oklahoma stuff. San Antonio right there in second place. What are you liking about your Spurs? What have you seen? Other than if Wemby's on the bench, it's an auto win.
What do I like about the Spurs?
Everything. He likes everything. He wants Rodman to come back and play for him.
Yeah, well, what's not to like? I mean, I think the biggest issue with them is they play down to their competition.
Okay, that's
and
fair.
I'll quote. That was a quote that Victor said. There was some coaching errors in a game 2 or 3 games ago that I disagreed with against Memphis.
Memphis is not good. Like, I'm done with Memphis.
I've been done with Memphis.
I'm done with it.
They're not done with the Spurs, so
no, fair enough.
We'll see.
The Spurs can only beat OKC, and then they'll just figure it out after that.
Tomorrow night they play OKC again, and can they go 4-0 against OKC?
It would be amazing. OKC,
and they're on the road, so
OKC in the regular season can include certain rounds of the Emirates NBA Cup. Have only lost 7 times. And a bunch of them have been to the Spurs. So let's see how tomorrow goes. That's exciting. I mean, what it proves to me is this is probably going to come down to a 7-game series between the two of them to figure out who goes to the finals and just dusts whoever's in the East. They can absolutely win 4 of 7 against the Thunder. And it's like empirically true. Like, we've seen it happen.
But can they win 4 of 7 against the Detroit Pistons?
So, okay, that future is unwritten, and I'm not going to speculate on the East, or am I going to give too much promise? Because who knows where the Heat are going to come out? Like, right? We go one step at a time.
I got that culture in my blood. I got the culture in my blood.
Dude, Eric Spoelstra, man, it's really Mickey Arison to a certain extent, but we're really, really excited to keep this pod going and for all of your support. We really, really would like you to go to Shoddy's Instagram page, like them, follow them, and send them a jersey request. They do the best work that you can ask for, and you'll be really, really happy with what you get. For the Unicorn Big and myself, thank you everyone for being here. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, do all of the things to juice the algorithm. Final thoughts, Unicorn. What have you got for me?
Gax, stop being a douchebag and play more 2K.
All right. I promise to Unicorn and to our loyal following, thank you, Mom, that I will play some 2K this week while I am on my travels in Detroit City. And I'll report back with how many 3-second violations I have made. I think that's a fair thing for everyone.
Keep a tally.
I will tally it every time that it happens. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And we'll be back next week. Everyone, good night.
Night, folks.